There we go. Dan's drinking his coffee, so he's not adding a single thing to that intro. That was funny.
Well,
No.
the intro-er is sitting in the intro seat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that means I'm supposed to do it.
Yeah.
You know what? We don't have a monitor in here, which is kind of squirrely because
Yeah.
I don't
do you-
always
what do
have my earphones turned
We got
up
all
enough.
kinds of monitors in here. We got 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4 monitors in here.
I'm making sure Hillary can hear us. You know? We've got to do those technical things. Hey, it is a gross Wednesday morning. I'm only
gross
saying
Wednesday?
that because not gross. It's just cloudy and overcast, and that's okay, right?
Kind of yucky.
It's kind of yucky.
Kind of a little bit.
Yeah, we need to fix your camera a little bit there, Dan.
Oh.
You're all head. There we
no
go. Or no head, whatever you want to call it. Hey, we hope everybody's having a great hump day. What is it?
Hump day.
Hump day. Hump bump. I don't know. Well, you call it something else.
Bump day. I don't know.
No, you.
Hump day.
I don't remember what you call it. Oh, what was that?
I can't remember.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I hope. So what's going on in your world?
Oh, I went to the
today?
doctor yesterday.
Oh yeah. And?
My endocrinologist. They're phenomenal.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
They've helped you. I
Well,
know a lot.
They don't have one here
Okay.
locally, so I have to go elsewhere.
Right.
But they take time with you, and they care about your condition. So, well, what they were seeing me for is really not the condition I really need help with. But
What condition is that?
That's
Or do you want to share that?
it's a mental problem
Ooh,
I've had
okay.
from birth.
Yeah, from birth.
I've been living with it for quite some time now,
Okay.
and it's manageable. I've gotten to the point where it's manageable.
Because you just don't care anymore?
No, I care a bunch.
Do you?
Yeah,
I don't blame
but
you.
only to a certain level. If carrying was a yardstick, it would be like a millimeter.
How do you reach that point? Do you know your breaking point? Like to where you just go?
Yeah,
I mean, you don't know it ahead of time, do you?
no, and
It just kind of comes on you.
Do you really want to get to your breaking point?
No, of
No,
course
you don't.
not. But
No.
you want to shut it down before you get to your
Just
breaking
yeah,
point.
don't go there.
Right.
Yeah. So I get to the doctor, and they take my meters and they
Okay.
do they suck the data out of it,
Suck the data
and they
right
come
out
back
of
and
me.
said your A1C is 7.4.
Well, tell people what normal and all that is,
Well, I
so
think-
they have some.
I think a normal person's between 5 and 6
Okay, so you're a little high.
mid-range. For a diabetic, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
7 is good.
Okay.
9 is not good. 13 is not good. Anything over, they want to get you into 7s.
And don't
low
they want to
7s.
keep you at a steady level, or does
Yeah,
that
well,
matter so much?
They want you, yeah. And the problem is staying there.
Right.
When everything that you put in your body affects your sugar level,
Right.
you basically, well, for me, you have a menu of things that you eat, and there's some things you just don't eat, or if you do want it, you eat very small portions of it. So
it doesn't like totally get you out of whack.
right, sometimes
Okay.
I get out of whack. Sometimes I
You're
forget.
out of whack every day.
Yeah.
You show up here, but it's a different kind
It's
of
a different. It's a different whack.
a different whack.
Yeah. So I'm happy about that information.
Well, I'm glad that
It's good.
that's good feedback and
Yeah.
that you're doing well.
I feel better.
And I know you said you hadn't seen this endocrinologist except for you haven't been with them very long.
No,
This particular
they're
one,
new.
and you said it was very, very. You liked it a lot.
They
You
were
felt
very,
they were very
very thorough, and they understood more than I did. And I've
Okay.
researched this for quite a while, and they've helped
Good. I'm glad.
get me back on track. So I'm happy with them.
So you know what? If you're like in that boat and looking for an endocrinologist, maybe you should private message Dan.
I'll tell you where I go.
And he'll give you info. So,
Yeah, I charge.
do you?
Oh yeah.
I'm going to charge
Make
you
sure
right.
you. I take Google Pay.
Do you take Venmo,
Venmo,
Cash App,
Cash App,
PayPal, PayPal?
PayPal. I take credit card. You just take a picture of your credit number, take a picture of your credit card, and make sure you take a picture of the back for me with that
Please,
CVC number that's back
we
there.
need that code.
I need that code. It won't work without it, guaranteed.
Oh, that's funny. Yep. That's it's interesting because I mean I like to be able to go on the internet and be able to my credit card. You know, it will come up as an option to choose, so I don't have to go grab my credit card every time. I just have my code memorized.
Well, Visa or MasterCard, I read somewhere yesterday that they're combining banks, so you can use one card if you want to, but you can add all of your banks and use the one card.
Okay, that ought to streamline it a bit. So
should.
did they buy one of the? I wonder if they bought them out.
I think it's just a feature that you can connect all your banks to the one card.
Okay.
They just want control of all your money is all. That's it.
So do I, but I don't have it. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. What kind of weather we got going on today?
It's cloudy. If you are sitting near a window, you can witness that for yourself.
They had some bad tornadoes last night in Iowa. They tore that place up.
I know. Wow. Richard's part of his family's in Iowa, but we'll have to check on them. But anyway, showers and thunderstorms likely today. Mostly cloudy with a high of 77. Chance of precipitation is 70%, so we're probably going to get some. And then tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely. Low of 61. A precipitation chance of 60%. Let me tell you something. When it rains, like, you know, everybody's ground's pretty saturated probably. I would think by now. I don't know. Maybe we haven't had that much rain.
It's just pretty dry still.
Well, this morning I got up and my water pressure was messed up. Like I can tell.
Oh.
As soon as I turn on the faucet, I can tell it's not quite right. So I was, you know, I thought, okay, I'm just imagining that. Well, we'd left the cattle tank on all freaking night.
Now you're on a well?
No. Oh. I'm on Bergman water.
Oh, boy, I bet that's expensive.
So I have no idea what my water will be, my water bill. It's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Because it was on the timer. But we were like, you know, that recognition. Anyway.
You don't have an automatic shutter offer?
Not the way he's got it designed right now because it wasn't working well. And it wasn't working. We don't do that in the winter.
Yeah.
Anywho, we didn't need any more water, but guess what? We're going to get some. How about that? That's what I'm getting. My corral is going to be disgusting.
I'm more concerned about your water pressure.
Well, the water pressure's fine once I shut the thing off.
Yeah, you got pressure. I was.
That's one of those.
I was thinking, you know, most little communities like that have a water tower. I was thinking you drained that tower.
No, I did not drain any tower, but I will say this: I knew better than to say anything because the person that had left it on very well knew what had happened. They were already kicking themselves in the rear, and the old me would have gone, "You're supposed to check." You know, I would have said something. Yeah. I would have said anything, something, and I just kept my mouth shut. So you should be proud of me.
How did you feel?
It was actually good.
Yeah.
We knew yeah. You know, you don't have to point all those things out. Okay, I'm going to go on into the weather now. That all just stemmed into a story of stupidity. But anyway.
Well, I knew where you were going.
Yeah, I got there eventually. Thursday, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms. A high of 81. I don't see any. Oh, it says 50%. So there you are. Thursday night, showers and thunderstorms likely. Again, a precipitation chance of 60% and a low of 64. And you can have the rest.
Friday, it looks like a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Partly sunny with a high near 84 degrees. Like I said, it's only a 40% chance on Friday. Friday night, 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Saturday, 30% chance of storms continue after 1 p.m., but then it's going to be partly sunny with a high near 83. Showers for Saturday night at a 60% rate with a low around 66. Sunday and Monday, Memorial Day is Monday. Sunday looks like a 50% chance of showers. And then Memorial Day, 20% chance on a Monday.
So we got some rain chances all week long through the weekend and into Monday.
This is the time when it rains.
It is, but it seems like it's usually a little bit earlier than it is now. It's just kind of dragging its feet. Okay. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay. May showers bring, is that it? April showers bring May flowers. Yes, well, we're getting May showers. That was dumb. Okay, Dan. Can we move on?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm going to.
It's...
Okay. Get up, get moving, get those thinking caps on. It's time to ponder this topic.
Hey, Dan.
What?
Can you ever commit a truly selfless deed?
Selfless. Sure.
I think so too.
Sure you can.
There doesn't always have self-serving qualities about what you do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where my mind went to.
Now,
I don't know. There may be
what
other.
would you quantify a selfless deed?
I do things for others. I think that's selfless. You know?
Is it spur of the moment, or do you have time to think about it?
Both. I mean, I've had both situations. I'm not saying I do it all the time. I ain't perfect.
Yeah.
But I'd say doing things for other people is what came to mind first. What about you?
The first thing comes to my mind is when somebody's broke down on the side of the road, or they're walking up a hill. It's 100-degree weather. You want to say, "Hey, I want to help you."
Are you scared to do that anymore?
Not really. If it looks shady, then I probably
don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah.
Right.
Somebody's wearing a lot of coats and got a dog with them and that kind of thing. Probably won't.
As a female, I'm very weird about that.
Yeah.
But I do have a gun with me, but I couldn't possibly get to it if I needed it. To,
right.
Well,
you never know these days. I mean, you hear so much everywhere about weird things happening, and you go, "Wow, where's that happening at?"
Which is sad. That's how we have to perceive our community now. But we have a very good community. I don't mean that, but there's always some bad eggs in there.
Yeah, I think people do need help, and I think it's up to you to. I mean, if you have that inner thing that says, "I need to help them," then you probably should.
So, what were we talking about before this show?
What were we talking about?
Getting tired of helping people.
Oh, do what now? Getting tired of helping people?
Getting tired of being. Never mind. It was a certain scenario. It was just kind of silly, but like we just both said, sometimes you just got to give up.
Yeah. Can you ever commit a truly selfless deed? We want to know what you think. Go to our Facebook page and
hopefully the graphics up. I'm not following Facebook today because it's just too much.
It gets to be overwhelming, doesn't it?
For me, it's too much distraction. We are going to go straight into our next segment because we don't have an intro for today.
Well, we got a new one.
We do.
We got a new one, but it doesn't work.
It's MIA.
It must have some, explicit language on it or something, but it won't play.
Because Delaney did it.
Delaney did it. She's done something weird to the file.
We just threw her over the bus, or under the bus, I should say. So we're just going to jump right on in there with number one.
What's the first one? Yeah.
Thousands are dead. 1/4 of the nation, over 2 million homeless. Whole cities have been reduced to shambles.
This was 64 years ago. That is 1960. A magnitude 9.5 earthquake, the strongest on record, struck southern Chile, claiming about 1,655 lives there. Many more died from tsunamis that hit from the Philippines to California. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah.
It is a sober meeting, the first ever on the soil of Moscow, as opposed to the Soviet Union, of a president of the United States and the head of a Soviet state.
52 years ago, Richard Nixon arrived in Moscow for the first state visit there by an American president. CBS News correspondent Richard Hodelet reported as Nixon descended from Air Force One. President Franklin Roosevelt had visited the Soviet Union in 1945 for a secret meeting with Joseph Stalin and Winston Churchill. It was not a state visit, though.
Okie dokie.
Rain or something, started breaking the windows and all that glass kept falling in. People just were screaming and scared.
37 years ago, a tornado in West Texas ripped through the town of Saragossa, killing 30 people and injuring 160. This was one of the... The clip was from one of the survivors.
Okay.
I've watched him since I was in high school, and I'm just really going to miss him.
This is it. This is the absolute swan song, and so to be part of it is to be a part of history.
This was actually 32 years ago. The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. He retired nearly 30 years after taking over the show from Jack Parr. These fans waited in line for the very final, last Carson broadcast. Boy, I remember that last show.
Don't you miss him?
32 years ago? Wow, it doesn't
that
seem
seems
like
crazy,
yesterday.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, yep.
You can still watch it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On free TV.
Mm-hmm.
CBS News management has decided that the CBS Evening News should return to a single anchor format. Connie Chung's future with CBS News is still under consideration and discussion.
29 years ago, Dan Rather again became solo anchor of the CBS Evening News after the network decided a nearly 2-year experiment with Connie Chung as co-anchor failed.
Did you ever watch her?
I did.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
I didn't have any problem with her, but
I'm sure it was internal. Something's
very
going
well
on internal.
I don't know what their numbers were, if she plummeted their rankings or what, but evidently they ditched her.
They booted her.
Yep.
1 minute it was just barely sprinkling, and next minute, boy, just whole world just upside down.
13 years ago, a tornado devastated Joplin, Missouri, with winds up to 250 miles per hour, claiming at least 159 lives and destroying about 8,000 homes and businesses. And this guy, he survived it.
You know, I remember that vividly, but it's even hard to think about it being 13 years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
People shrieking, running, screaming, jumping over balconies.
Okay, 7 years ago, I better not do that funny. A suicide bomber set off an improvised explosive device that killed 22 people at the end of an Ariana Grande concert in Manchester, England. And that was one of the survivors that was speaking there.
And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, and I hope you don't mind that I put down the words. How wonderful life is while you're in the world.
Songwriter Bernie Taupin was born on this day, May 22nd, 1950, 74 years old today. He penned the lyrics for many of Elton John's biggest hits, including this song, Your Song.
Who doesn't love Elton
That's
John?
a good song, yeah.
It is. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce this guy's name.
Morrissey?
Morrissey was born in 1959, this day, 65 years ago, and that was Every Day is Like Sunday.
You taught me how to have faith. You are the one who taught me that hope is a choice.
Actress Jennifer Goodwin was born on this day, May 22nd, 1978, 46 years ago. She is best known for playing Snow White or Mary Margaret Blanchard in the fantasy series Once Upon a Time.
I didn't
Happy
watch
birthday.
that. Yeah, happy birthday to all the birthdays. And if there's any of you listeners out there that today happens to be your birthday, happy birthday to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
We will have Wanda Massengale with us.
Now, why was she here today? She usually comes on a Monday.
Because my brilliant co-host said we had a cancellation first. We'll say that, and then my brilliant co-host said, his name is Dan. I don't know his last name, but he said, why don't you talk to Wanda? Because we had to tell her not to come Monday.
Yeah.
We won't be here, but we'll cover that later. But anyway, when we're going to go to break now. How about that, Dan?
Okay, let's do.
And then when we return, we will have Wanda Massengale and the pet of the week.
Cricket.
Okay. Stay with us.
On Facebook and Hometown TV, channel 26.1.
Welcome back to Around the Table.
We have, if you haven't, let's see if you can hear. Nope, we can't hear. We have Wanda Massengale in the studio with us, and she has the pet of the week, which is featured, and that is Cricket today.
Okay.
So give us all the scoop about Cricket, Wanda.
Cricket is 9 years old. I don't know the story about her. Her adoption fee is $75, and there are, I think I was told there's like 12 cats out there, 14 kittens, and a person can put the kittens on hold, but they can't take them until they're of age and fixed and wormed and shots and everything. Right. I don't really have a lot of information because Wednesday the Humane Society is closed to the public. She thought there were 30 dogs there, and with all the cats and kittens, probably 59, 60 pets, and that's a big number.
It's creeping up.
Yeah, it is.
And not only that, with all those cats, cat litter and cat toys and food litter, yeah.
I guess they never can tell what kind of, they have a certain budget out there. And if the animals increase, then their budget just gets depleted.
Well, and that's when they go to us.
Right.
To help. I mean, and that's why it's so important for you to always stay connected, I guess, and know what they need. And one of the reasons Wanda comes on here every couple of weeks to help us to know how the community can help.
Yeah. I just, there's been some times when it's been over 100 out there. And I know the resources were probably really thin.
They probably were.
And the labor. The people, they didn't have enough workers.
Right.
Yeah.
And they appreciate the volunteers that walk and socialize.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a Chihuahua mixed puppy out there right now that was brought in. It's real timid, and they'll get the little kid, the dog out of that. Right. But it just, I don't know what situation that's caused it being timid, and there's always a story.
Yeah.
Right. That's very true.
Yeah, I know. When we got Dobby. He was 2 years old, and he had no social interaction. I mean, he didn't understand, like, come on, let's go. He didn't understand that. He was just kind of, he knows what that means now, but whoever he was with before, these animals learn from their owners.
Sure.
Cues and when to eat and when to go outside. But if they're not taught that, they don't know.
Right.
They don't have any socialization whatsoever.
And that's where community can help.
That is. And they need gravel sometimes, used appliances because their washer and dryer is going all the time.
Yeah.
Towels, blankets. I haven't mentioned newspapers in a long time, but I saw some used that they were cleaning up.
That's probably getting to be an issue.
Yeah, we don't have a newspaper as many.
Right.
Issue.
Yeah.
Right.
They have an area for puppy quarantine and dogs that are brought in quarantine.
Right.
Because of the waiting for the shots and
for parvo, to make sure parvo is not an issue.
I mean, parvo stays in the ground like 7 years, and so I know they've got it out there from just the past. Well, you've settled down, haven't you?
Yeah, Cricket was a little worried about coming in here. She was making her
claws known.
You can totally understand that, though. And again, we're talking about the social, how important it is to socialize with the animals.
On Thursday on Facebook, they have Thrifty Thursday where they put things that's come in or they have for sale at the thrift shop.
Oh, yeah?
And I always look for that. It's kind of fun to see.
Well, they're very good to feature things, I think.
They are.
On social media. It's very helpful. And that's Cause for Paws.
Cause for Paws, down on Crandall.
Facebook page. But also you can keep up with the animals at the Ozark Humane Society Facebook page, correct?
Right. Okay. And also the Spay and Neuter Clinic link there to register online is on their Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so far, if I realize it right, and remember they're having like 2 a month, it seems like, the last few months. That's what it looks like to me. And they fill up, which is wonderful.
Well, that's wonderful if they fill up. If nobody attended, it would be horrible.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how you register, though, is to go to
online instead of going down to Cause for Paws and wait in line.
Right.
Which I have done.
Okay.
You know.
But we are very much vocal about get your animal spayed and neutered, because we see the effects of not doing so when animals are just brought into the Humane Society because they're homeless, and perhaps that's the cause. Is because somebody
and we talked about this before, but in other states they don't have spay or neutering. There's no, or is there? Or is it required there?
Seems like the northern states is stricter than the southern states.
Okay.
Yeah. They don't have the same problem here.
And the reason I can say that is because most of the animals are like homeward bound.
Right.
They're transported north and northeast.
Because their laws are so strict that everyone's spayed or neutered.
And then some of our pets go to Colorado.
Right.
So that's why I say that.
Okay.
It seems like that is it.
Okay.
And that costs money to transport too.
I bet it does. Somebody has to go with the animal, right? They have to actually drive them.
Right. It's like an RV with air conditioning and cages and food and water and all of that. And it can take days or not days depending on where the pet's going.
Yeah.
But Harry Potter is still there, although I know a lady.
Tell people who Harry Potter is in case they're just
Harry
not
Potter is that little cur dog I brought last time.
Oh, yeah.
And before that was Dumbledore, his brother.
He got adopted, Dumbledore.
Right. Harry Potter is the last one out there.
Okay.
And I know that a lady wants it, but she has not been able to go out there.
Yeah, we've had somebody here in the studio, in the radio station wanted her.
And as they said, first come, first serve.
Yeah.
But on Wednesdays and Sundays, the shelter is closed to the public. And I think on the thrift store, it's just Sunday they're closed.
Okay.
And they need volunteers both places.
And take, if you are cleaning out something, don't take them junk. You know, if you consider it junk,
it's junk.
It's probably junk. So, but if you have some slightly used things that you just want to say get rid of, and you know, for whatever reason, then this is a perfect opportunity to support the Ozark Humane Society, because that's how they make a lot of their money, is through Cause for Paws.
And then they get their bulk feed from Pal Feed, and then Harrison Animal Clinic does a lot of their health care. Well, all their health care, I guess. And
all those animals, you think about your own animal, you provide health care. And it's times however many when you have a shelter. So, yeah, it's an expense.
And it changes all the time.
Right. And you know, it's getting ready to be, I hope, warmer weather. And you had mentioned last time you were here, I think, that those little pools, you know, they're very inexpensive, and they do a world of good to help for the Humane Society. They take those.
Let the animals play in them.
Right. And cool off.
Right. Well, you think about it. I mean, this has been going on for years. Ozark Humane Society has been out there from as long as I can remember. And the community still has a heart to support them.
You bet.
And what would it be if that support was not there? I mean, we could look out the window here and see animals running back and forth, just procreating at will. And if it wasn't for the spay and neuter clinics and all the help that the Ozark Humane Society does. So
there's a lot of people behind the scenes at everything, the spay and neuter clinics, the thrift store, the public that donate and do things at the shelter services, and they don't charge.
Yeah, and that facility's been out there since day one, I think. And I would love to see a new facility built at some point.
They I guess they keep adding on here and
They've
trying
got new pens with concrete floors, which is great because you can Purex and clean them off.
Right.
But they started off with
nothing.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Wow. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about Cricket again, in case somebody's just now tuning in.
Cricket is 9 years old, and she is fixed, and I'm sure shots are current, or she, wouldn't be there. Wouldn't be safe for her. Her adoption fee is $75, and she really is a calm cat.
She is. She's just
scared because of the car, and
look at where. Yeah, I'd be scared too.
I would too.
She's calmed down now.
She's not completely white, but she's got a little tan or
kind of butterscotch color.
Yeah, there you go.
She's got a long
She
tail.
almost has a little Siamese look to her.
She
just
does.
vaguely,
Right
in my
here.
humble opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's pretty, and
Yes, she is.
she would love to have a home.
And they have all colors. Unfortunately, they do for cats, kittens, dogs. There was one out there that looked kind of, I don't know, kind of like Dobby, the way
But people,
bigger.
Yeah.
But you can do a DNA test on the pet, so that's kind of neat.
And you probably don't have any idea who Dobby is or what he looks like if you're listening or viewing, but he's a cute little.
He's a cute little pup.
That's Dan's dog.
It's
That's
Dan's
my
dog.
yeah.
And we talk about our dogs, but y'all have no clue what they look like.
And then he adopted Dobby from the Humane Society. Him and Kelly did. Now I have Sugar Baby, which is spoiled rotten little white spits.
Yeah. But anyway, this little precious booger Cricket is available for adoption, $75, and all you have to do is contact the Ozark Humane Society.
Right. Other than Wednesday and Sunday.
Right, except for Wednesday. And Wanda, you have that number?
I do. 741-3050.
Okay. I know Dan's looking for his
I'm looking for Dobby.
picture of Dobby, but we're going to have to move on without you, Dan. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Go ahead. No, that's no problem.
This is the first rest I've had here for weeks.
She's not going to want to move.
I mean, I've had very active pets.
It's an active time of year.
It is.
Well, Wanda, I want to thank you
Wanda.
for being here, and we always appreciate you coming in and bringing, especially last minute. I really, really do appreciate that. So, and I'm sure Cricket, if Cricket gets adopted, Cricket's going to say, thank you, Wanda. Thank you so much.
I had errands to do. I needed to check on my truck.
Well, you're not going to go anywhere. You're going to look at her on you. It's okay.
Thanks, Wanda.
Thank you, Wanda. We are going to head to another break. And, well, hello. And we'll be back. Stay with us. Oh, always a good time with Wanda in the house, don't you?
It's
believe?
always
Don't you
wonderful,
think? Don't you
yes.
think? Don't you think? And that was Cricket, and Cricket's a cutie.
Check them out.
Yeah.
You know, you could call and find out more information. 741-3050.
Right.
But I suggest you just go down there and check
Go
out
see
the
'em yourself.
inventory.
You go and you can you can feel more than you can just through watching like this segment. You know, there's a feeling of
these animals talk to you.
They do.
They connect with you.
What did Dobby say to you? Oh,
He
you
says,
just
"Take
came
me
on.
home."
He just came on the TV show, and you went,
Yeah,
"I want that dog."
Yep, that's it.
And I've told this story before, but if I was going to have a dog, I was interested in
You was
Dobby
interested,
as well
yeah.
a little bit
Yeah.
because he was just that dog. I don't know what it was. He was lovable.
He had surgery a couple weeks ago.
How's he doing
And
from that?
it's all healing up now. He's fine, but he had a lipoma in his throat.
Yep.
And they took it out.
Oh, so it was a lipoma and nothing.
And the stitching, the way she stitched it, just looked horrible. I mean, it's nothing, but now it's looking really good. So.
You know what? Sometimes the doctors really do know more than we do.
Yeah.
In that, because I wouldn't know how to stitch anything up. My nose is itching now. I got cat hair. I don't know what happened. I'm not sure what happened. Hey, do you know what happened?
Do I know what happened?
Yeah. You know, okay, we've talked about pets here, but you know what the Met Gala is?
Yeah, I
some big
saw that
foo-foo,
one. Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Pet
well,
gala.
they have
It's
a
a
pet
pet gala. Yeah.
And it's for, do you know what it's for?
For pets, probably.
Well,
Goldfish?
it's for dogs, actually.
Okay.
The gala raised money for New York's Dog Museum, where owners recreated some of the most outlandish looks, the same ones worn by Bad Bunny, Shakira, and Gigi Hadid at this year's Met Gala. So they've dressed up, I guess, their dogs in like that. Now, do I think that's just really stupid? Yes, I do. But hey, you know, it's raising money. Maybe that's all that really matters. I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah, whatever.
That's funny.
Take your pet to the pet gala. Who cares?
You know, if you live in California, they've got so many rules, laws, regulations on how you should live your life. The property taxes are through the roof. It's annoying to live there, and people are moving out of there left and right.
Were they coming to Arkansas?
Yes, I met a guy while I was at the pharmacy the other day. From it's kind of funny. We were sitting there talking, and it was lightning and thundering, and he was jumping like.
Really, he's not used to that.
Not used to that.
I'll be darned.
And he said, "Is that lightning?" I said, "Well, it's actually thunder."
Mm-hmm.
Because you could see the lightning. He said, "Is that normal around here?" I go, "Well, yeah, you're living in the Ozarks." I said, "We've got weather here."
Uh-huh.
And I said, the only place that I know of where the weather is exactly the same every single day is San Diego. And he goes, "I just moved out of San Diego."
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I said, "Well, why'd you move here?" He said, "It's just getting so ridiculous."
Like financially or just in general, everything?
Everything. He said the property taxes, he said people moving in, it's just you can't even you can't even go out your front door without worrying about something happening criminal wise, that kind of thing.
You know, and I don't blame people for doing that, but I sure as heck don't want that to be the case here, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, you didn't finish your story.
Anyway, there's one guy in California. He was ordered by his town to build a 6-foot fence around his boat.
Why?
Because the boat was unsightly, I would assume. They just didn't like his boat being in the driveway. So they had to build a fence. Well, what he did was, or he was going to face a several $100 fine. So he built the fence. Then he had someone to come in and paint the fence in a super realistic mural of his boat.
I like the guy. Sorry.
His act of civil spite is trending as an example of how to stick it to the city hall. I mean, look, come on.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Didn't say anything about not painting your fence to look exactly like.
No, they didn't.
I've seen the picture of this thing, and the boat mast sticks above the fence, and it identically matches up with
I'll have
the
to
mural.
look at that.
Yeah.
You know, we don't. I don't. You probably haven't either lived in a neighborhood where you have like set rules for the neighborhood.
Yeah. And then you have to pay fees every year for the neighborhood.
Count me out.
Yeah, really.
So there was a guy that was the hot dog eating. Were you done with your story?
That was it.
Okay, I thought so, but I wanted to make sure before I interrupted. You like hot dogs, though? You know?
I do. Oh, yeah, I had one yesterday.
Have you ever done a hot dog eating championship?
No.
Huh. Really?
No, there's just one all I can eat, just one. Just one.
One bite at a time. You don't have to cram your mouth full and try to chew.
Do you have to eat the bun along with it, or do you know?
No, that
just
I don't
hot
know,
dog.
Dan.
Yeah, I think you just eat the hot dogs.
I don't eat them.
You just, because I've seen them do it. They just shove one right after the other, and it just keeps going.
Well, there was the 6-time Nathan's hot dog eating champ. I can't pronounce his name. Takeru Kabashi can't even look at another hot dog, so he's retiring from competitive eating. He was Joey Chestnut's top competition until he started to suffer health issues. He said he lost his appetite and even his ability to smell food, which might be proof that 69 hot dogs in 10 minutes maybe isn't a great idea. That is
not a good deal.
I can see. All I can see is choking.
Well, you watch them eat those hot dogs and you wonder why they don't choke.
Exactly.
Worst time to travel for Memorial Day?
Now?
Starting tomorrow.
Okay.
You'll be sharing the road with 43 million other Memorial Day travelers planning to drive at least 50 miles over the long weekend. And a AAA says that if you want to beat the traffic, leave Wednesday. Thursday and Friday evenings are predicted to be the worst time to travel. And the best time to travel to head home will be around 7 Monday night.
That's late.
I know, but that's when everybody's supposed to have already gotten to where they're going.
Or just deal with the traffic.
Yeah, but that's when the AAA expects it to be the lowest.
Okay, well, there you are. There's your travel tips from Dan.
Yeah, there's some more travel tips.
Do you know how hot it is in Mexico?
I feel like so hot. Why is it so hot in Mexico?
It's so hot that monkeys are dropping dead.
Really?
It's so hot, yes. You'll need an umbrella to shield yourself from all the collapsing monkeys, not just the sun. About a third of the country has been sweating through 115 degrees heat. But in the state of Tabasco, it's been so hot that the howler monkeys are dropping dead out of the trees. So far, wildfire officials have counted 83 of the poor little critters that just couldn't take the extreme.
Oh, my gosh.
When we went to Mexico, Puerto Vallarta area, there were the howler monkeys.
They're loud, aren't they?
Yes, but they were everywhere. And, I mean, it was hot, but that's hot. That's hot to kill animals. Or maybe
That's
I wonder
hot.
if they don't have water. You know, I don't know what all the ins and outs about that, but that's
probably
hot.
why they're howling. They're about ready to die from the heat.
I can't wait to go to Mexico.
Oh, okay.
In the heat. Yeah.
You know what the best city to live in the United States is?
What is it, Dan?
Probably know what you're thinking. U.S. News and World Report has released its list of 150 best cities in the country to plant your roots, and Naples, Florida, takes the #1 spot based on affordability, quality of life, and job availability. Boise, Idaho came in second, and Colorado Springs came in third. Other cities in the top 20 include Madison, Wisconsin, and Lexington, Kentucky.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm happy with where I am for the moment, anyway.
Well, if they don't mention Harrison, Arkansas, I'm happy with that because I
you don't
think
want people moving in here.
One of the best places to live.
Okay, so this is a new. You know, we've talked to some. Let's go to break.
You want to go to break?
Yeah, let's go ahead and go to break.
Okay.
And then we will come back, and we've got a couple of things I want to hit on. How about that?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Whatever you think.
Well, I'm in charge, and you told me I was, so leave me alone.
I would put it to a vote, but
I'm not. Okay. We are going to go to a break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Channel 26.1.
Welcome back to Around the Table with Dan and Ann.
You know what?
What?
It's getting really dark outside.
Yeah, and I'm hearing thunder out there right now.
Yeah, so I think we are in for our weather that we have had forecast.
And what did we say, 30%? It's 30% in big time.
I think it's a little more than 30%, Dan. What are you looking for? Making sure I got all my buttons pulled?
I just kind of like to double check what you're doing over there.
You know what? I don't mind that one bit. You know? Hey, I got a little story here. Half of Wegovy users, Wegovy is a diabetic drug, but it's also used, it's like Ozempic type of thing. Oh. And the numbers are coming out about how people use weight loss drugs like Wegovy, and a lot of people aren't hanging around long enough to see the results. So you're just not giving it time, is what they're implying. A new study by the Blue Cross Blue Shield Associations finds that over half of the patients on semaglutide don't finish a full 12-week course of the meds. In fact, 1 in 3 didn't make it past a month. The study found that people who were prescribed the meds by their doctors were more likely to stay on it. So I don't know where they're getting it from. Mm-hmm. Evidently not using a doctor. I don't know. I didn't know you could do that, but whatever. That's a whole nother ball game. But thanks, Dan. And also, Ozempic meals. The internet wants to know how stupid it is that a large food company is now making a line of frozen foods just for people on Ozempic. Nestle says the new small prepackaged meals will be portion controlled and packed with protein and fiber. But health experts and even celebrity chef Andrew Zimmern wonders, isn't processed food what made us fat enough to need Ozempic in the first place? And the Ozempic meals will hit supermarkets later this year. So it's happening.
Check it out.
I don't really know a lot. I'm not. What are you looking at?
Good. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've not used that, but I know a lot of people who have had success with being on Ozempic or Wegovy or whatever.
Yeah, what they're saying now is it plateaus.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and we know someone here that uses, and I don't want to throw any names out, but here in town that uses it, and they've had to go back on it just because their A1C started to creep up just a little. I don't know that that's from. I don't know why.
It's not a one-shot cure-all drug.
It's kind of like a new life way to live.
Yeah. I think. The best thing to do is change your eating habits. I mean, the Ozempic is there to help you lose weight. Once you lose it, you got to maintain it. You can't go back and do the chips and the whole thing over again.
Right, you've got to change the way you approach eating, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. I hear you. I'm with you. Do you got any?
We talked about this weekend, which is Memorial Day.
Right.
Do you know it's going to cost more if you do travel?
Why?
2 days from now, well, actually tomorrow, no, it'll be 2 days from now, nearly 50 million Americans will hit the road on a long weekend, and by the looks of it, we will be spending a bit more for gas than we did last year. The AAA says the national average for gas is $3.60, and that's 6 cents more than, that's the average.
Okay.
When you talk about California, it's probably $5 or $6 a gallon.
Right.
And then the lowest is... you know what the lowest price per gas is around these parts?
What?
Bob's in Jasper. It's always cheap down there. Yeah.
You would think being out of the way, they might jack the
it would
prices
cost
up
more.
A bit.
Well, and then at Highway 7 and 206, the White Oak station, it's like $3.34 now. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It's just like, come on.
It's like gouging.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I live in that area. But I don't go there because it's cheaper in town, and I'm going to town anyway. Yeah.
It's crazy, crazy, crazy. And we're not even into, school's just now getting out. So people are going to, it always goes up during summer months.
Yeah.
Because people travel and they want to get raped in the process.
Oh, let's go to the more expensive place. Why should we try to save $1? No, let's go here.
Oh, me.
You know what today is?
I think it's Bitcoin Pizza Day. Am I
How
correct?
did you know?
I don't know.
Oh, my gosh. You are so perceptive.
Tell me about it.
Commemorating the first transaction paid for the Bitcoin in 2010. Some dude in Florida bought two large pizzas in exchange for 10,000 Bitcoins. Back then, 10,000 Bitcoins was worth about $41.
Wow. Okay.
So anyway, it's Bitcoin Pizza Day, and I think Bitcoin is here to stay, and it's
I think so too.
branching out into all kinds of different kind
will
of digital
be more comfortable
money.
for us that are like skeptical and sketchy about it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Canadian Immigrants Day. Tip your toque to all the hosers who who immigrated to the United States back from Canada.
How do you know that's toque?
I have no idea.
I thought
toque.
Okay. It's also Sherlock Holmes Day. No, you know who Sherlock Holmes is.
Celebrating a world famous fake detective.
Exactly.
You know, when I thought of Sherlock Holmes in the beginning, I thought he was a real person because he talks about everything in reality. Okay.
It's also a World Paloma Day.
Paloma.
Raise a glass to the national drink of Mexico. Tequila and grapefruit soda.
Oh, yeah. So I drink it every day.
It's World Goth Day. Go celebrate being goth if you're goth, I suppose.
Goth, not golf.
I said goth.
Goth, okay.
G-O-T-H.
Just making it clear.
Okay. What else? National
Maritime Day.
Okay.
Tip the captain's hat to the maritime shipping industry, and there's still people stuck on that barge.
Right.
26 of them.
Yep.
And they're not migrants, and they're not being held captive.
We are about out of time,
okay,
Dan. We've
go.
got just a few seconds. We will see y'all tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in to Around the Table.
From the